Hi, Peace. I just want to know why you guys feel the need to come on this app every day and harass people. Well, Peace, the topic is people need to stay in their lane and people need to stop spreading false information and lies on people with no proof, trying to degrade and discredit other people. But I'm going to say this. I'm telling you the best way to handle people like Alyssa and the best way to handle people like Mallory is to, honest to God, block them. And that's right, Lady Day. If she had real friends, they would tell her it's time to grow up and pay her own bills. They would. They would. I don't know. I'm not around that person. I'm not associated with that person. I just think it's too easy for you guys to get bored with your life to come on here to try to wreak havoc in other people's life because your own life is miserable. You know, Tabby is a good person. Tabby has a great heart. Tabby doesn't go around here on this app harassing and bullying people, spreading false information on people. And when somebody has actually reached out to you and said, hey, what's the deal? What is the problem? Why are you doing this? And your response is to laugh and to just blow it off as if it's a joke. Oh, we already know that. We already know that. Actually, it's snowing today. It went from being over 56 degrees to snowing. So, you know, and the thing is that's right. Tabby works her fanny off and pays her own bills. You know? It's that wet snow. And you know, somebody who gets up and works every day and works their tail off for the things they have in their life, and then you have somebody who literally dry begs on this app and dry begs for their phone bill, for a turkey dinner, and for their rent to be paid, and then you have the audacity to try to run somebody else down to the ground. I'll never understand that. I just want to know what makes you guys invest so much time and energy on people. And I will say this, I really don't care. I don't care. Anybody comes over here from that side that has bullied you guys, bullied me, I don't care. Moderators, do what you need to do. Jojo, you already know. You already know. I mean, let's just take Violet for a second. If you go look at her page, I want y'all to tell me who is obsessed with who. And I don't understand how you can be upset and how you can cry about something when you have spoken on a woman and you have spoken on her children. And then when she decides to clap back and she claps back a little close to home, you cry about it. Two wrongs don't make a right, but some of y'all just don't know when to stop. Y'all don't know when to stop. Y'all do not know when to leave people alone. And now I'm just going to do what I need to do behind the scenes. Okay? All your harassment videos, all your mocking videos, I'm keeping record of it. I'm just going to let you just keep digging yourself in a hole. I'm going to keep letting yourself dig yourself in a hole. But we all know that your haters are your fans. When somebody has to go and make a fake account after their main account has been blocked in order to continue to watch you, they are fans. They're fans. How is it that I have a lot of you guys over there blocked, or if I haven't blocked you yet, why is it that you keep viewing my profile? What is it that you're looking for? What is it that you're hoping to see? I just think, Alyssa, you should honestly, you should focus more on your life and getting your life together. And figuring out how it is that you're going to be able to pay rent all by yourself and be a big girl who's in her 30s and pay rent by herself. That's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on maybe budgeting your money and putting enough money aside so that you can pay your cell phone bill, and that when Thanksgiving comes around, you can maybe buy a turkey. I will never understand the people that literally have sat in boxes and have said everything but the name of sweet baby Jesus to me, and have said that they can't stand me, they don't like me. Why do you keep posting me on your page? And that's the sad part, Andy. She is very talented with her artwork. You could be an artist. You could make your content about your artwork. You could put all this energy that you have into a talent that you have and thrive. But to spread lies and false information about people with no proof, with nothing, and this person has asked you to stop. Responses to her are juvenile and childish. And Violet, I don't give a rat's ass if you sent that whole message thread that you sent me through that other Fallout page that I had. When you and I had an emotional moment and you were talking to me about your personal life and things that you've went through and all this other stuff. And then you think sharing that out is going to do something to me. It's not going to do anything to me, Violet. What it shows is that your immaturity, your inability to grow as a person. I know you don't, JoJo. I know you don't. I know you don't. I know that you just try to do your own thing, and people continue to bring your name up. But you cannot sit there and cry, Violet, when you support Mallory and you're upset because Tiffany clapped back at you. But have you ever spoken to Mallory and told Mallory that it's not right for her to tell Andy's story? Did you ever correct Mallory, Violet, in a box? Because, people say that the apology should be as loud as the disrespect, right? Is that what everyone says on this app? If you do it on a platform, you should apologize on a platform, right? Mallory, Violet, in a box. Because,
Watch this. I got something.
What? Please send that to me, babe. Please, I've got to. I don't know, that AI video is upgrading her looks, if you got to be honest. But my thing is, we're gonna get back to it. A lot of you guys have things that you could just do, and you could literally flourish, and you could thrive on your platform. But instead, you guys want to try to continue to tear people down. And I'm at this point now that, am I going to speak about it all the time? No. But am I going to address things when I feel they need to be addressed? Absolutely. You know, and that's the thing, Andy, nobody's perfect. You know, everybody has done things, everybody has gossiped. There's a lot of people on here that have talked about people, talked behind people's backs. You know, the whole phone dumping thing, the whole showing your text message thread thing. I guarantee you a lot of y'all would want to crawl in a hole if anybody ever got into your phone. A lot of y'all would probably crawl in a hole if people knew half the things that y'all say behind the scenes. You know, there's times that, you know, there's groups of people that when they're in another group chat or whatever, it's not always about TikTok. And that's the thing, Southern. I know another person that their jaw would hit the floor if you ever decided to do a phone dump. But you haven't. Because you're not an evil, vindictive person. That's not who you are as a person. But some of y'all want to sit here and cry about things that are happening to you, but y'all don't ever take a step back and ask yourself, what are we doing to other people? I mean, y'all are over here making videos of hitting me on you know, using a frying pan, you know. Another example, I mean, Megan, it had nothing to do with you being in Walmart. But the fact that you have to speak about me and you have to bring my name up when you could have just gone on a trip with your daughter and had a good time, but you have to tear people down. You have to poke, just like Violet has to poke, just like Alyssa has to poke, Mallory has to poke. And then when people have enough and they finally speak up about it, you guys want to cry. And what really blows my mind, yeah, did I at one point in time, was I, you know, when Stephanie tried to get back in with me and she apologized, and you know, she was trying to make it seem like she had changed and she was a whole different person, and it was all a mask. She was literally trying to isolate me to where she knew that I wasn't ever going to have those conversations with Andy or Lady Day or a lot of these other women. And when I finally did have those conversations and found out a lot, you know, and that's the thing. That's the thing, Kelly. There's a lot of things that Stephanie said, and she truly had me believing that she was over all of it, that she was wanting to be a better person, and it was all just a facade. And that's on me, right? That's on me. And I can chalk that up as I was wrong for ever trying to give that woman another benefit of the doubt, and I can own up to that. I can. I truly hope that the only thing I can say with Stephanie is that I truly hope that you can find peace in your life and you can focus more on your real life instead of all the TikTok bullcrap, because now we see where that's gotten you. And I'm not trying to put you on the spot, Kelly, at all. But can I ask you a question? What do you think, how do you feel about Tiffany doing what she's doing to people? Do you feel that what she's doing is justified? Or do you feel like she has taken things too far?
Okay.
That's funny. Okay, that's funny. I'm going to have to post that one. And you said you'll be honest, you haven't talked to her in 2 weeks? You know, Kelly, I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I'm going to say this out loud. I really think that you have a really kind, big heart, and I think that a lot of people get you wrapped up in so much bullshit. You know, do I feel like that Tiffany has had enough? Do I feel like that Tiffany is clapping back because she's been poked? I do. So I kind of feel like this tit for tat. It's just like, how far are y'all willing to take it? How deep are y'all willing to dig to truly hurt somebody? Do I feel like talking about somebody's essay story? Do I feel like talking about somebody's traumatic story with being in a car accident? Do I feel like bringing up all of those traumatic events that people have really been through in their life? Do I feel like should that ever be brought up or talked about? No, I don't. And it's like sometimes you guys push the limits, and you push and you go too far. And people have sitting here saying that I'm this awful terrible person, but I have not continued to do anything to anybody. You know, have I been fed up with Megan? Yeah. But have I come to the conclusion that she is just who she's going to be? And if that's who she wants to be perceived as, and that's how she wants people to see her as, when she talks bad about me, or whatever it is that she does, you're showing your true self. And I get it. You're going to have your group of people that are going to cheer you on, and that are going to root you on, and that are going to think you're so funny, and that you're doing the absolute most, and that you are just you're hilarious. But I will tell you that I have a lot more people supporting me than you think. Do I need 200, 300, 400 people in my life to get that validation? No, I don't. I don't need to seek any validation on this app from anybody. But I will say that I have had people reach out to me that I never thought would reach out to me, and just say, "Hey, you know, I'm glad that you're doing better. I'm glad that you're happy." You know, and you guys keep saying, without changed behavior. Compared to where I was and what I was back in 2024 and early 2025, and where I'm at right now, I have come a long way. Now, last night, did I have a few drinks? Did I get tipsy? Absolutely. Did I let myself loose one time? Sure, I did. But I don't think that I did anything cruel or malicious. But what I really don't understand is that, once again, Violet, you make comments about me crate training my dog and putting my dog in her crate and made it into something that it wasn't, to try to spread information, to try to get people to hate on me over me crate training my dog. And it's like the fact that a lot of you have to sit here and go, I have screenshots of this. I have screenshots of what this person said and what that person said. Do y'all have a life? Do y'all literally just sit on your phone every single day, all day? Or do y'all go and just, what is it? How can y'all be so invested into an app that is, it's an app. It's a parasocial app that people choose to open and close every day. And some people just choose to be the most awful, terrible people. Do I feel like that some people can make true, genuine friendships on here? Absolutely. Are they far, few, and in between? Absolutely. We all know how it works on TikTok. You, to be able to say the word, I trust you. No. I'm telling y'all, I know for a fact, if I do something wrong, Southern's going to call me out. If I say something wrong, Lady Day's going to call me out. Andy's going to call me out. But you know what they're not going to do? They're not going to go live, and they're not going to humiliate me to do that. You know what I mean? It's like they don't feel the need to go live. If I've done something or I've said something, they don't feel the need to go live and talk about it. They're going to be the type of people that reach out to me in a message and say, you know, hey, da 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 da. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, oh my God, I hate that term. I really do. What it all boils down to. Can we change that to what it all boils down to? Exactly, Lady Day. That's not how you maintain friendships in the real world. I mean, hi Tabby, welcome in, babe. You know, your real friends are going to even call you out when you're wrong. You know? And it's not because they're doing it because they don't, it's because they do care. If you have a friend that truly cares about you, they're going to call you out when you're being a shitty ass person. They're going to say, hey, you maybe should have handled it this way. You maybe should have handled it this way. But what they're not going to do is they're not going to turn their back on you and just shit on you. Y'all know how many times I have given people chance after chance after they have literally burned me and have done phone dumps on me and have shown private text messages on me, and they have still tried to come back in my life to be my friend. And because I truly thought they were genuinely sorry and they wanted to change, and then just to turn around for them to do the exact same shit to me. I am so cautious on what I even say. Now, I'm not really cautious on, I know that whatever I tell Southern stays with her. I will never have to worry about that woman ever saying anything about me. And the fact is that she could have already done a full phone dump between her and Megan, but she has chosen not to. Even after Megan has talked horribly about her, when Southern was nothing but a true friend to her. You know, There's people in my everyday life that I have been friends with for years, and we don't talk to each other every day, but when we talk to each other, we can literally pick up where we left off, and we just have that bond. But I am not scared, nor am I intimidated by anybody on this app. There is nothing that you can do to me or say about me or say to me that's going to affect my real life. And I will say that I have had to learn some hard freaking lessons on this app when it comes to trusting people. And sometimes trust takes a long time to build with people. And I know that people say, Shannon, but Megan was your friend. Megan was your friend. How could you have done that? No, Megan was never a real friend to me. We were just two acquaintances that were getting along at the time. I saw things that I no longer wanted to be associated with. I removed myself. And unfortunately, her ego got hurt. And she's done what she's done to me. But just go when everybody says the obsession. How many times has Megan gone live and has she brought up my name? How many times has she said, let's go back to Dragon Shannon? That's fun. And Megan, you had a lot of people that truly were your friends at the time, and you have burned them so bad. That's okay. Thanks, Andy. I appreciate it. And since that person is streaming me right now, let's go back to the subject. Alyssa, why are you lying on Tabby? I know you did, JoJo. I know you did. Why are you lying on Tabby? What is that doing for you, Alyssa? How does that make you feel knowing that you're spreading misinformation and lies on somebody for views, for likes, for clout, for attention, when you can't even afford your rent? And then you cry and you have a full-on breakdown on TikTok because someone was bullying you on TikTok. What do you think you do to others? And Tabby never had any of those accounts, Alyssa. So you better go check your other so-called friends. Just like JoJo said. You better go check your other friends, Alyssa. Because blaming that on Tabby, it ain't it. I just think it's sad that you can sit here on this app and you can cry and you can have a full-on meltdown and a breakdown and have people believing that you are in a depressive state of where you might want to self-harm, and then go on live a few days later and cry because your rent's not due. Your rent's due and you can't pay it. And that's just like Mallory telling everybody that I was this Velma account and I was the one airing out Andy's past. I didn't even know about Andy's. I never even knew what Andy had went through until I heard her speak on it in MJ's live. And then Lady Day, let me know what was going on. But you, Mallory, you spread misinformation and you told everybody that I was a Velma account out here talking bad about Andy. And Southern, you know my accounts. Right now, I have this account, my main account, and I have one sneaky account. That's it. And even on my sneaky account, I don't even talk in the chats anymore. I usually just go in to listen. I don't go in and troll people. Anything that I need to say from here on out comes out of my mouth, or it comes out on my own page. But it is so easy for y'all to sit there and assume and spread misinformation on people. And I want to know why. Show the proof, Alyssa, that that's Tabby's account. I want you to show the proof. You have it. You say you have the proof. Show it. I mean, you remember when you were upset because you were being accused of an account of allegedly, supposedly showing Tiffany's deceased child? What does that mean, Andy? Alyssa, 50 ways to take Megan down? What does that mean? What does that mean? And oh, that's her notebook. That's her notebook. So, oh, that was the name of her notebook. 50 ways to take Megan down. And Alyssa said that she created it. So she created a notebook that said 50 ways to take Megan down? Oh, but now Alyssa is saying that y'all created it. Oh, and she drew pictures of me and Megan as roaches. So even Kelly knew about it. So y'all just told her to write names down that were sitting with Megan. And now Alyssa is trying to say that you guys created this notebook, when in fact she's the one that created the notebook, 50 Shades to Take Down, or 50 Ways to Take Down Megan. Alyssa, do you remember? Oh, so you could block them if they came to your live. Okay. Alyssa, do you remember when you messaged me and told me that you were the account Sergeant Boots, I believe, and you didn't want Megan to know about it because you didn't want Megan to know that you were around? Do you remember that? Because you were so worried that if Megan found out that was your account, she would go off on you. So once again, Alyssa, you've been caught in multiple lies. I mean, why not just own up to the fact that you can just say that, yeah, I made a notebook, 50 ways to take down Megan. And the fact that Kelly even knows about it. And then what really gets me, Alyssa, is that you have all these issues, right, with Tiffany and some other girls. But at one point in time, you did sit in a group with them. And now you've made up any and all kinds of excuses as to why you left that group. Is wild. Oh, she even had girls call her apartment complex because her neighbor's dog was so bad. So, Alyssa, you had girls call your apartment complex to complain about your neighbor's dog? And then you got mad because I guess kids were getting too noisy? In my opinion, you're right, Lady Day, the common denominator is Alyssa. And I think it's because you are trying to project things on other people when in fact you're the one doing Crazy shit. And the gaslighting that you do. And your tone, even when you're so condescending. Even when you talk, Alyssa, you're condescending. Andy, I'm telling you, honey, you could have a video recording of it all from start to finish, and there are going to be people that will still not believe you, because I'm telling you, people don't want to look at things. They can't think for themselves. They're so afraid to actually see something for what it really is, and be like, dang, wow, you know. I mean, and I don't want to sit with a group of people and wonder, and I'm going to say this, Kelly, there was a group chat that you guys had that I was not involved in because someone else didn't like me. And I didn't go crying about it. I didn't whine about it. I didn't whine because I was not a part of a certain group chat. Oh, I've heard that too, Lady Day, where people say she's so condescending they can't even listen to her lives. I mean, I didn't cry about not being a part of a group chat. I didn't cry and say, well, why can't I be a part of that group chat? Like, do I feel like I was probably talked about? Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there's been times that people have talked shit about me in certain chats that I was in, but I mean, I feel like I kind of kept things 100 when I was in the one that we were in. I wish I would have listened to Mike from the get-go and would have never even accepted that group chat. I'll be honest with you. I mean, that went south faster than I thought. And honestly, I feel like that's a good thing. Hi, Tiffany. Bye, Tiffany. That didn't last very long. But,
They don't want her in there.
I mean, I just, I kind of feel like people just need to learn when to walk away and leave people alone. And if you don't want to mess with me and you don't want to be associated with me, why are you coming over here trying to listen to my live? Go into someone else's live that's live streaming me. Go watch it on Drama Talk or whoever decides to replay it or whatever. I mean, once again, the same people that say they don't like me, I mean, you literally have to go unblock me to come in here. Now, some people have me blocked, and then they unblock me to come in here, and then they reblock me afterwards. Go with your group. Go hang out with your friends and go watch your stuff. I just know after this live, I'm telling y'all, it's textbook. I know what people are going to do after this live. Okay. Number one, we already know that Violet's probably going to go ahead and make another AI video. Okay, we know that. And I'm sure that, Megan might even, address it. We all know that. I'm just not going to exert the energy anymore or give these people any more time out of my day to give a fuck. I mean, it's what, 6:13 right now? I'm probably not going to be on here much longer because I want to enjoy my night with my man and have a good night and watch movies and hang out and maybe even log on TikTok later and laugh at the dumb shit, But I'm telling you, when it comes to Tabby, leave her alone, Alyssa. She works. She pays her bills. She don't have all the time and the energy in the world to live on TikTok to argue all day. But Alyssa, Tabby has feelings, and the lies that you're spreading about her is not right. It's not. It's not a good look. So if I could give you any advice, focus on your artwork, focus on the things that you're good at, that you're talented at, and thrive in that. Make that your content. I get it. Drama sells. I get it that drama brings people in and it fills a room. But how long can you keep this up? Why do you want to keep it up? That's what I want to know. Why? What is it doing for you? Y'all sit there and y'all praise. Okay, let's just do an example. Florida man has been arrested. Okay? On his way extradited to Florida. Okay? I know that it has consumed a lot of people, and a lot of people are excited, and a lot of people are happy and glad that he's finally going to have to pay for the consequences that he's done to people, the crimes that he's committed. And people that have been truly affected by that man, they have every right to speak on the things that they've been through and the things that they've had to endure by that man. They have every right to speak on it. Just like Mallory, when you get upset, you feel the need to hit the live button and you speak on anything and everything. But it's like when somebody else wants to do it, I think the reason why you get upset is because there's just people that you're just not likable to people. And they just don't give a shit anymore what you have to say. Now, your small little group of people that still are riding for you, cool beans. But you have cried and you have played the victim and you have gone and you have just, said that people have done the absolute most to you. But look what you've done to other people. And I don't get it, Alyssa, if how you act, if you feel like that this is impressing Mallory. But I'm going to tell you, if one of your main goals is to impress Mallory, that's really not something to thrive on. It's really not something to be proud of, to want to be on the same caliber as Mallory. It's not a good look. And I don't know about you, but you could literally go type running on ADHD in the search bar and just look at how many videos come up of Mallory. I mean, if you've got certificates for your certificates, good for you. I don't give a shit if you can run faster than me, jump higher than me. I don't really give a rat's ass. I didn't know that it was a competition. I didn't really know that I was in a competition with another bitch here on the said internet. Sometimes I wish we could go back to the MySpace days. I feel like social media has just made people turn into shit fucking humans. And it's so easy for y'all to hide behind your screens and to have your little minions and to have your little group to cheer you on. And it's just like y'all cling on to a creator and act as if they are, all the things. And I will say that Some of y'all just need to log off. Mallory, I really would love to see you. You say that you're good with writing, and you say that you're good with all that stuff. Why don't you go get an actual career in doing that? Why don't you actually use the skills and the talent that you have that could make yourself flourish and focus on that? And like I said, I have never in my life seen somebody, Mallory, you have done a lot of shit to a lot of women on here. And you've talked a lot of mad shit about a lot of women on here. But for somebody that literally looks like she needs an EpiPen on a daily basis because of them swollen eyes, honey, I think you need to rest. You need to rest. I feel like she literally looks like she daily needs to take antihistamine. The stress. I call them the stress eyes. You know, some of y'all, I'm telling y'all, TikTok is aging y'all like milk. It is literally sucking the life out of you. And Mallory, I was watching videos from you from 2024, even 2025 up to now. And honestly, it's jaw-dropping. Just to see the way that your face has changed. Your demeanor, your attitude.
Look at this.
What's that, baby?
I have to figure out how to get you in the picture. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, I'm so posting that. Yes, I'm posting that. You better send those to me. Anyway, Mike has found an app, so I may be posting a few videos later. Anyway, I mean, two can play this game. Also, quit spreading the lies about CPS. Stop spreading the lies. Okay? I mean, we're going on what? Well, over 10 months now. And y'all's ways to twist the truth, to spin the narrative, to make something into what it isn't, or to turn something into what you think it is crazy. And y'all want to sit here. I've already told Southern this, but I'm just going to tell some of y'all this. So last night after my live, I had an episode. And unfortunately ended up in the ER last night from about 4 to 7. And I've got bigger things to worry about on this app. We all know that was a lie, JoJo. And we all know who was spreading that lie. You know, and I have things in my real life, in my health wise, that I'm going to have to focus on these next couple of months. And while y'all sit there and y'all act performative, and you put on a performance and you act like that you're cool, and you're trying to act like you're unbothered, deep down inside you are bothered because you continue to do the things that you do to people. I just know for me personally, there's nothing any of you guys can say or do to me that will affect me. But I'm going to have to, these next couple of months, I've got some things that I've got to deal with health wise. I'm kind of dealing with a scary situation. I really don't know what all entails with what's going to go on. But I will tell you that I've got bigger things to worry about. Um, you know, there's people that are actually going through things in their real life, and none of y'all care about that. I know you do, Southern. I know you do. You know, I'm going to be, potentially looking at a really major surgery, and I don't know if any other treatments are going to have to go afterwards, but, you know, and I totally get that, Lady Day. You can only push people so far. Um, I just know that the people that are in my life and that come into my lives, and that people that I choose to talk to and share things with, I know that they have my back and that they care about me. You know, but I will just say that I have an orange sized, you know, you know, mass in my body, and I'm focusing on my health. And I know that when people give out too many details out on here, people like to spread misinformation and stuff like that. And the ones that I do decide to share with what I'm going through with my health wise, that's going to be between me and them. But there's really only one person on here that I truly trust, and thankfully she's got me, and you know, she's being there for me, and that's all I care about. You know. But I don't know, it's just made me put a lot of things in perspective. You know, it makes me realize that real life is what matters, not TikTok. You know, I can choose to log on and log off. I can choose when to interact, when to not interact. Um, and I'm not going to allow people to twist and run with things sideways. Um, but I know for me personally that I'm going to start focusing on my health and the things that truly matter in my life, and I'm going to surround people that bring out the best in me. And that's all I care about anymore. So, you know, you just and um I don't know, it's kind of just made me realize that I just need to focus on the things that truly matter in my life. You know. But I'm going to stand by Billy Joe, Andy, Lady Day, Tabby, um, Fizz, all you ladies. Y'all have been nothing but kind and honest and open with me. Um, Southern, you've been a real one since day one, and I do appreciate and I do value our friendship wholeheartedly. Even without this app, you know, I know that you're always someone that I can uh, just talk to, and that's always going to have my back. And I truly appreciate that. I value that. I just know that I just know that with certain people that it's just been acquaintance wise, you become acquaintance with somebody and you have a falling out, and some people just need to learn when to walk away and leave it alone. Y'all just need to learn how to leave people alone in general. Karma's a real thing. It really is. And karma has a way of coming back tenfold. It really does. There's other things going on in this world that is bigger than TikTok. There's real life issues going on in our country right now that's bigger than TikTok. And that's fine. That's okay, Andy. And you're right. You're right, Culture Kills. Florida Man is a testament to things catching up with you. Karma catches up with you. Reality catches up with you. You can only hide behind a screen for so long and do a lot of messed up things to a lot of people and hurt a lot of people. It's eventually going to catch up to you. Maybe not today, not tomorrow, but eventually it does come. And God will prevail over evil any day. He does. I just think that he has heard a lot of people's voices. He's heard a lot of people's prayers. And I think with that day that Florida Man got arrested, I really think a lot of prayers were answered that day. Whether you're a Christian or not, whether you believe in God or not, there is a higher power. All right, Southern, I will. There is. And to all the people that have had to endure the things that they did with, Florida Man, I have, I know, Southern. Honey, I know. We'll talk about it later. I think people just need to be a little bit more cautious and realize that right is right and wrong is wrong. You can only sit with somebody for so long before if you ever just take a step back, you'll realize that you weren't right. I think a lot of people need to they need to kind of stop worrying about their egos and their pride. And some people need to take a step back and just say, hey, I was wrong. Me being a part of that, me doing that was wrong. I'm not afraid to admit when I was wrong. I'll I'll ask her. I'm not one that's going to sit here and say that I haven't done wrong and I haven't messed up. I don't hold that much pride. My ego is not that big. I know that I have messed up on here. I know that I have allowed myself to act and behave in ways that I'm not proud of. But I'm learning and I'm growing. I'm not perfect. I'm healing. I'm not healed. I may be an adult and I may be 44, but I'm still learning. I'm still growing as a human. But I do know that I have someone in my life that actually brings out the absolute best in me. I just wish people would just take a step back and realize and ask themselves, like, if what I'm doing, if what I'm, involving myself in, is it right? Am I hating this person because I truly don't like this person? Or am I hating on this person because somebody else don't like them? Being a free thinker is a huge thing. I don't need to fit in. I don't need to fit in with a group. I don't need to fit in to feel validated or have validation. I want to be with a group of people that are genuine and have the best interest for me. And we all need that person. You don't need a group of people. Sometimes it just takes, a one or two. I just know for me that I'm just going to be a lot more selective who I allow in my life and what I share about my life. So, but Tabby, you know the truth. The people that you surround yourself with and you've been with, y'all know the truth. Y'all don't need to sit here and keep trying to defend the lies that people continue to spread. People are seeing it. Y'all may not think it, but people are truly seeing who some of these characters are on TikTok. They're seeing past the bullshit. Even though people are out here spreading those lies, you've got those people that are following their little creator. They're gonna go along with whatever, but you're gonna. You just can't go out here and spread blatant lies on people just because you want attention. If you're that bored with life, go seek employment. Go focus on your hobbies. And Lady Day, you hit the nail on the head with that. You've hit the nail on that. People have been seeing it for a long time. And she will never be able to provide the proof. She'll never be able to, she's just going to spin her narrative and have people believe the lies out of her mouth, Tabby. But, you sat there and you cried, Alyssa, because you were upset for what Megan did to you. You cried because you've been bullied and harassed by somebody on this internet. And yet you sit here on this internet day in and day out harassing and bully people on a daily basis. And I don't feel sorry for you. Now, for me, I let people go so far. And eventually I do talk about it when I feel the need to. And I'm not a Swiftie fan. I'm not 12. Okay. My taste in music is surpassed that. Definitely. I'm not a Swiftie. Now, if you are a Swiftie fan and Taylor Swift is your cup of tea, that's your prerogative. That's your preference in music. Just, it's not mine. She's got a few good songs that I like, but it's not my go-to. To each is their own. So, but Alyssa, if you're going to dress up as Bob Ross, just draw your tiny little trees. Do your art, do your diamond art, show off your skills. But stop talking about people. Because everything that you say out of your mouth, I just hope y'all realize that you people out here that continue to lie on people, try to discredit, defame them, slander them, you can have repercussions for that. And it's sad that people have to go the legal route because of an app. But just so you know, slandering somebody on the internet and spreading lies and false information you can end up in court for that. Let's talk about all the things that Florida Man has done to a lot of women on this app. Let's look at all the people that were involved with helping him do all these things to the women on this app. Is Mallory live right now? Oh, I just heard her voice. I don't know if it was.
This one's better.
What? Oh, that one?
Hold on, Joe.
Hold on just a second, guys. Can I play it on my live? Should I play it? Oh. Yeah. Mike's having fun with his phone right now, so he's showing me some videos. You know, and that's the thing. Girl, listen. I refuse to take any grown woman in her 30s serious when you have to come on TikTok and cry because you're going to potentially be evicted because you can't pay your own rent. I refuse to feel sorry for anybody that comes on this internet and talks about people and makes fun of people when you can't even pay your own rent and you can't pay your cell phone. And you need to stop using the excuse because your beloved grandparents passed away. There's a lot of people that have lost loved ones, Alyssa, including myself, and it does not give me the excuse to be a complete asshole on the internet. You are not the only person that has lost a loved one on this internet. It does not give you the excuse to behave and act the way that you have and you continue to do. Okay? There's a lot of us that have had to pay for our own expenses. There's a lot of us that have had to figure it out. There's a lot of us that have had to just find a way and make it happen. But crying on this internet because you can't pay your rent and then turning around and bullying people, it's not a good look. And then being condescending. I mean, Alyssa, you literally cried on a live and we're making people think that you did no longer want to be here on this earth. And then the next day you cried because you couldn't pay your rent. And now today you're on this internet bullying people and spreading lies. I get it that there are people out there that truly, genuinely need help. But a lot of you people on here need to humble yourselves. You cannot sit here and cry because you cannot pay your bills and then turn around and bully people because they're going through a hard time. And Violet, I as much as you have done and as much as you have bullied and harassed me, do I think what Tiffany posted was terrible? Yes. But you also posting that meme of her in a car with a child behind it with cockroaches holding signs wasn't cool either. You know, and a lot of people donate a lot of money, but some of y'all gloat about it. Y'all gloat about, well, I donated to this and I donated to that and I need to show proof. Listen, if you go onto your Cash App and you send money to somebody on the internet, you just going to have to chalk it up to that was a decision that you made, and whatever happens at that point, it happens. Okay? You took the risk to donate money for a certain cause, you know, and you guys can keep going back with your clapbacks with me, but I made my situation right. And I can wake up and look myself in the mirror and said that I know that I did the right thing in the end. But it was okay, right? Right, Lady Day. But it was okay when Megan had a funeral. When you had a funeral for my dad, you all thought that was funny. But Alyssa, you cried when somebody made a profile with your grandma on it. You cried, and everybody felt sorry for you, but yet Megan had a funeral for my dad, and you guys thought it was funny? You guys think that's funny, and that's, to me, that's you're being hypocrites. You're being full-blown hypocrites. How many of y'all laughed at that? How many of y'all rooted that on? So now, Alyssa, and Violet, since y'all have poked people and y'all have poked the bear and people have clapped back where it has actually hit, now has it hit home? Did it hit below the belt? Did it hurt? I'm sure it did. But maybe ask yourself, what did you do to the person that finally clapped back? What did you do? Now you get to cry victim because your feelings were really personally hurt, and you say, well, that wasn't her story to tell. That wasn't Mallory's story to tell about Andy. Holding a funeral on my deceased father, that's pretty disgusting. Tell me where I've done that to somebody. Matter of fact, Alyssa, I actually even told Tiffany when she had made a meme of your grandmother and tried to post it on one of my posts, I deleted it because I don't stand for that. But how many of y'all rooted on when Megan held a funeral on my dad? How many of y'all made excuses for Megan when she did the satire of the rug overdose? Y'all know damn good and well, had I done that, I would have been dragged for months. I mean, look what happened to me when I showed a picture of a micropene, and people accuse that of being, you cannot sit here and say that I can't mention people's names when you guys have continued to keep my name in your mouth. You've continued to keep other people's names in your mouth. And because I decide to speak on it, it's fair game. You don't like it when it's done to you, but you're okay with doing it to other people. I don't know if y'all just don't have the if y'all just got the brain cells of a billy goat, or if y'all just truly just don't get it. You just don't like it when you get the consequences, Alyssa, for running your mouth. You don't like it, Mallory, when you get the consequences of running people through the mud. You don't want people to talk about your supposed alleged essay. But what gave you the right to try to speak on Andy's story with no context? You were trying to Look at all what you did to Pastor Petty. Look what you did to him and his family when that was never your story to tell, and you only told it and spoke on it for months on end because you thought you were going to hurt somebody. You were doing it. You did what you did to Petty to hurt that man. It was never your story to tell. And I was wrong for ever allowing myself in those conversations and those lives. And I was wrong for that. And I can admit that. I can admit and say, I should have never spoken on him. I should have never spoken on his situation, on what he went through, because I wasn't there. You guys have dug deep and tried to find people's court records, court documents. Y'all have tried to literally destroy people's lives on this internet, thinking that it's making you look like the better person. I can own up to the things that I've done wrong. I can own up to the situations that I allowed myself in. Nobody forced me into those lives. Nobody forced me into those boxes. I chose to act a certain way and to talk a certain way. And no, there are times where I was unhinged. I was wrong for it. But I can at least admit that I was wrong. I'm not a narcissist. I know when I mess up. But you know what? I don't hyperfixate on people. Violet, you have hyperfixated on me. Your obsession with talking about me, posting on me, doing the things that you think you're doing to me, you're the one obsessed. I made the decision, even with Stephanie. Even after I should have known better, the second time that I involved with her, I had to figure it out, and I learned the hard way. And some people say, well, you should have known better. Well, there's a lot of times where you guys have allowed yourself to be roped back in with some people you shouldn't have. You don't sit here seeing me crying about it. I'm like, well, they probably should have known better, just like I should have known better. You know? Sometimes you just get it wrong, and you got to admit it, that you got it wrong. But I will say that it's the same group of people. It's the big circle jerk. Okay, you're going to have Mallory's little minions that are going to ride hard for her, and then, Alyssa riding on the coattails of Mallory and Megan. Well, I don't know if she supports Megan anymore. I don't know if she associates with her. I really don't really give a shit. But I'm going to get off of here. It's about 7 o'clock. Appreciate everyone that's been in the live. Keep your head up. Don't let anybody on this app affect you. Focus on your real life. Love the people that love you. Value the people that value. Don't ever take someone else's opinion about you. Those opinions don't matter. The only opinions that matter are the people that truly care about you and love you and want the best for you. Sometimes people, they're not your friends. They're just surveillance cameras. So I appreciate you ladies, and y'all have a wonderful night. And, don't let this app get to you. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.